JBN, we keep you informed. St. James teen charged following robbery and shooting. A St. James teen has been charged with housebreaking, larceny, and robbery with aggravation. The police say a court date is yet to be finalized. The police report that in August, the teen and the two suspects stole a motorcycle from Lammy Lane in Salt Spring in the parish. It was subsequently recovered by the owner on September 7. According to the police, the teen and the suspects returned to the complainant's house and demanded the motorcycle. When the demands were not met, they reportedly opened gunfire at the complainant. No one was injured in the incident. Following investigations, the teen was subsequently arrested and later charged on Friday, October 18. Illegal gun and ammunition seized in St. Andrew, man arrested. A man was taken into custody after a Eckler & Koch 9mm pistol and 26 rounds of ammunition were seized on Dunmere Avenue, Kingston 19 on Monday. The Constant Spring Police report that about 10:30 a.m. a team was conducting a stop-and-search operation in the area when a man was accosted, searched, and the firearm along with the magazines found on his person. He was taken into custody. His identity is being withheld pending further investigations. 34 killed last week. Despite 7 of 19 police divisions under a state of emergency SOE, murders and shootings are still higher as of October 19 this year than for the corresponding period in 2018. Last week alone, there were 34 murders across the country at a rate of nearly 5 per day. The St. Andrews South Police Division continues to be a black eye for law enforcers, with 14 murders committed there between October 13 and 19. While the government is urging residents to hold strain as the police try to rein in rival gangs during the SOE, which was declared on July 7, violent crime continues to rear its head. There were 6 killings in a 48-hour period last week, including a triple murder in the White Wing Avenue community. From January 1 to October 19 this year, the division racked up 141 murders, which represents an increase of 18 killings, or a 14.6% rise over the corresponding period last year. Superintendent Wayne Cameron has been parachuted in from Manchester as Divisional Commander of St. Andrew South, replacing Superintendent Gary Francis. Francis is heading to Manchester. There have been 140 shootings during the period, a 17.6% jump over 2018. There were 86 robberies, 3 fewer than last year, and 36 break-ins, 3 fewer than last year. Up to October 19, some 1,060 people have been killed island-wide, compared to 1,044 over the corresponding period in 2018. The Kingston Central Division experienced 11 murders last year, but police data indicate a 136% rise to 26. The division also had 30 shootings up to last week, compared with 18 last year. St. Andrew Central had 79 murders, compared with 66 last year, while Kingston Eastern accounted for 60 murders, compared with 50 last year. St. Elizabeth had 22 murders, a 37.5% increase over 2018, while St. Catherine South, which is under an SOE, had 104 murders, compared with 75 last year. While the SOE in Anova and Westmoreland is bearing fruit, St. James' crime situation is still grave. St. James has recorded 118 murders, a 43.9% increase over last year up to this time. However, there was a year-long SOE in the parish in 2018, which ended in January this year. It was reimposed on April 30 after a spike in killings. Westmoreland has had 66 murders so far this year, compared with 112 for the corresponding period in 2018. Anova has recorded 26 murders, 20 fewer than last year. Dead witness refused protection. The key witness in the case against the alleged Dexter Street gang reportedly rejected attempts by the police to place him in the witness protection program. The witness, who is believed to have died, was a member of the so-called gang and was expected to testify about its activities. However, the Crown on Tuesday withdrew the case against the 19 alleged members of the Westmoreland-based gang after efforts to locate the witness proved futile. We would like to also make it clear that every effort was made by the police to have the individual placed under the witness protection program. However, despite our best efforts, the individual resisted police protection and eventually disappeared altogether, the police high command said in a statement. The alleged gangsters, 15 males and 4 females, were charged with breaches of the Criminal Justice Suppression of Criminal Organizations Act 2014, commonly referred to as the anti-gang legislation. They were released after the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions entered a nolle prosequi, suspending the matter indefinitely. The reputed gangsters have allegedly been linked to nearly 40 murders in Western Jamaica since 2016. In a statement Wednesday morning, the Jamaica Constabulary Force (JCF) said solid police work was done in the preparation of the case against the alleged Dexter Street or Middle East gang members. The constabulary would like to thank all the hard-working investigators and prosecutors who worked on this matter. Our commitment continues to be the provision of thoroughly investigated cases submitted to the prosecution with good supporting evidence, as well as the protection of the rule of law in Jamaica. We remain committed to keeping our citizens safe, the High Command said. We are undaunted in the fight against gang violence and organized crime in our country and confident that justice will be served in the 12 major gang-related cases currently before the courts, the statement added. Corporate-era man and woman charged with murder. 2 people are to face the courts on charges of murder following separate incidents in the Kingston Central and the St. Andrew North police divisions. In the first incident, detectives from the Kingston Central Division charged 46-year-old Veronica Clark, otherwise called Susie, a vendor of Pink Lane, Kingston, with the murder of an unidentified man on Princess Street in the parish on Tuesday, September 14. Reports from the police are that about 2 p.m., Clark and the now deceased had a confrontation, following which she allegedly used a knife to stab him. He was taken to the hospital where he was pronounced dead. In the second incident, the St. Andrew North Police Division charged 28-year-old Casey Alexander, a tile of Grantspan Avenue in Kingston 8, with murder, illegal possession of firearm, and illegal possession of ammunition. The police said Alexander was charged following the shooting death of 40-year-old Leon Eddy, otherwise called Stalky, of the same community, about 12:35 a.m. on Tuesday, October 7. Bus on Heroes Day church trip crashes, leaving Portland woman dead. A 54-year-old woman died from injuries she sustained when a bus, which was on a church trip, overturned along the Snow Hill Main Road in Portland on Heroes Day, Monday, October 21. The deceased has been identified as Dawn Williams Bailey of Windsor District in the Rio Grande Valley area of the parish. According to reports, at about 7 a.m., Williams Bailey was among passengers in a Toyota Hiace minibus heading from Windsor towards Port Antonio. On reaching a section of the Snow Hill Main Road, the driver lost control of the vehicle and it hit a guardrail, resulting in the bus overturning. Williams Bailey, who received multiple injuries, reportedly died at the scene. The driver of the bus and the other passengers were assisted to the hospital where they were treated for their injuries. The Portland police are investigating the incident. 2 St. Catherine men charged under the Firearms Act. 2 St. Catherine men are to face the court on charges under the Firearms Act following the arrest by the St. Catherine South Police in operations on Friday, October 18. Charged are 29-year-old Andre Mackenzie, a barber of Watson Grove, and 21-year-old Adrian Booth of Newlands in Portmore. Reports from the police's corporate communications unit are that Mackenzie was arrested when a Zig Sawyer pistol was found during a search of a house he occupied. The police said the pistol, which had a magazine containing 3 9mm rounds of ammunition, was seized, and Mackenzie was subsequently charged with illegal possession of firearm and ammunition. Meanwhile, Booth was accosted, searched, and a .45 pistol with 4 rounds of ammunition taken from him by a police team that was on patrol. Both men are expected to appear in court at a later date. Former Prime Minister P.J. Patterson released from hospital. Former Prime Minister P.J. Patterson has been discharged from hospital 7 days after he was admitted with injuries received in a car accident at his Norbook St. Andrew home. Patterson received injuries to one of his knees and his hip. On Wednesday, October 16, he underwent a surgical operation at the Tony Thwaites wing of the University Hospital of the West Indies to repair the injured hip. In a release Monday evening, Alston Stewart, one of Patterson's aides, said the former Prime Minister is now resting at home. Stewart also said Patterson was discharged after a comprehensive medical review. The medical team is satisfied at his progress and believes he can now continue his recovery at home, Stewart said. He said Patterson will remain under the direction of a medical team which will be enforcing a strict visitor policy to ensure that his recuperation is not compromised. Patterson has thanked the medical team which attended to him during his week-long hospitalization. Their professionalism and skill were simply amazing, he said. The former Prime Minister has also thanked all well-wishers and supporters for their concern. JBN, we keep you informed. Please remember to like, subscribe, share, leave us a comment and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items.